This is the 60th LeetCode challenge and it's called Permutation Sequence. The set 1, 2, 3 up to n contains a total of n factorial unique permutations. By listing and labeling all of the permutations in order, we get the following sequence for n equals 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, etc. up to 3 to 1. Given n and k, return the kth permutation sequence. So input n3, k3 would be 2, 1, 3. So that's this one, and the third one is here. N4, K9 will be 2, 3, 1, 4, and N3, K1 is the first one, which is 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's get started. So for this one, I copied over the code from the 46th challenge called Permutations. And for that one, it basically creates every single possible permutation. So that's obviously useful for this one, but for this one, we only need to get the kth one from it. So let's start off with auto string output equals permutations, and we will pass it. Let's see here. I guess first let's create a new int nums, I should say new int array equals new int, and that is of size n. So let's see permutations, this will return a string. We also need to pass over int or k, and this will be int permutation count. Actually, we also want int k here. So int k, then int permutation count, then here we pass k twice. And for this, it will be if permutation count equals k, what we do, current permutation do this, we then return current permutation, this will be string.join, and it's an empty string like that. So we have return string when it's actually completed. Wait, no, this isn't what we want. Okay, no, I need to change that. This is just creating the permutation. If nums count equals 1, actually, okay, we'll keep it as nums count equals 1, but then we'll just do the same thing we had before of string.join. We'll leave it up to here to decide when to return it. And then for this, the problem is we also need to keep track of the count. We need to increment each time. You know, for the sake of simplicity and allowing these values to be changed anywhere, I'm just going to create an object. So public class, let's see, permutation, public int k, public int permutation count. I think that's all that's needed. So in here we'll just do new, I should change this as well, permutation p, and new permutation equals k, permutation count equals k. Not the cleanest way to do this, but it's a way of making it so anywhere can access, it can change the values. So when it gets to here, we'll do actually this will be p dot permutation plus plus. Actually, this might need to be initialized to 0. So then string permutation equals empty string, permutation equals permutation. We need to pass in p here as well. And we can do if p dot permutation count equals k p dot k, return permutation. And if it gets down to here, return permutation. So I think that will work correctly. So let's run it and see what it produces. Okay, well, it returned all zeros, which I wouldn't have thought it would. Oh, it's because I forgot to actually create this. So for int I is 0, I is less than n I plus plus. Nums I equals I. Now run it. Okay, not what I expected, but I realize it did make a mistake here. Should be +1. Okay, there we go. It did produce correct output there. So I guess let's copy this and put it into LeetCode. So we got that. We'll run on the test ones just to double check. That's all good, so now submit. and that solution was accepted. As you can see, it's at the very bottom end for runtime and memory, which there's definitely improvements that can be made. Like for instance, using k, you can figure out whereabouts in the loop you should start. So for example, let's go to here. So k equals 3, you know that, let's look at this for example. So there's 6 possible permutations for n3. If you have k3, you know that the first digit will never be 1 because it's broken up into 3 segments this. So you got k3, you know it's going to be one of these. But anyway, we've got a working solution, so that's the 6th LeetCode challenge called Permutation Sequence. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe.